My name is Mitch Benner, and we started this podcast to remove the stigma around sobriety from addiction.
My name is Aaron Nelson. Through our stories and the stories of our guests, we hope to help you find a new path.
What up, everybody? We are back with another episode of Shattered Darkness. We're kind of doing Aaron and Mitch episode 2, if you will.
2.0.
Yeah. We have a lot of great guest stories, and we appreciate all the following and the support and the likes and shares and all that. So keep doing it, please. Share with your friends, share with anybody that may need to hear it. So we got a couple good things cooked up for y'all today. And we'll just kind of get right into it. Is we initially game planned to talk about our bigger takeaways now that we're into this. Mitch being just over a year, and however long it has been for me is irrelevant. So one thing that we just had a good conversation right before we aired was, the sympathy or lack thereof or lack of awareness on when you see those clips and you see those videos of, the fentanyl crisis now, which is like as big as the opioid crisis.
It's crazy, dude.
What do they call the people that are just like standing, falling over? What do they call them? Zombies or some shit? Maybe. I don't know. Y'all know what we're talking
Dictionary.
about. Y'all know what we're talking about while Mitch is pulling this up. And if anybody wants to be a podcast researcher or whatever they call it, to look up shit for us while we're talking, you can send your resumes to shatterdarkness5@gmail.com. We're accepting those. This is not a paid position. Unless you bring a sponsor, then it will be paid. Anyway, so, when you see those videos, I think it kind of stirs a lot of emotion. And there's a lot of people that have never been through what we've been through or what that person is going through. And I don't want to steal all your thoughts, Mitch, but there's a really good, concise point of there's a ton of misunderstanding. And you have to understand what this does to see what that person is going through, because I can guarantee you all those people did not want to be in their spot. So,
right.
Anyway,
I think, and that's kind of what, like Aaron asked me this morning, like, hey, what is, you think, your biggest takeaway? Like, we've been on this journey. I've personally been on this journey for almost 2 years, had a couple of relapses in the middle of all of that.
A couple?
Yeah, right. One right when I very first started.
Oh, I thought there was something you weren't telling us.
No,
last year.
No.
I'm not kidding.
You guys know everything.
Dude, you didn't answer my call last week. Were you drinking?
What was I doing? No, I was camping.
I know, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I just made that up.
I swear, I'm good. And also I want to say that your sobriety date does matter, dude. It's not irrelevant. 8 years is a big deal.
Oh yeah, I know.
8.5 years.
It wasn't. I just wasn't making it about me. It was just the point of.
Well, then you never do.
We've been on this journey. So what are the takeaways? And I probably have 15. It's just all in different areas and chapters. And
I just think that my biggest takeaway, like Aaron was saying, I've been engaging with like social media groups, with the fentanyl crisis and alcohol crisis and, everything. And I think what I realized through reading a lot of the comments, and it's super easy to make a comment on Facebook that's harsh, that's, is what it is. Maybe it's people trying to be funny, but there's still, in my opinion, a lot of misunderstanding behind the people that are, in their opinion, too far gone. I'm reading comments of like, oh, just give her another hit, or what that person really needs is more drugs. And, and it makes me mad because that's not true, and I'm not speaking to every individual case, right? I'm speaking to this on a general standpoint from a national scale. And there's a lot of confusion and there's a lot of lack of grace around it, and so I've been making comments, and I really feel like in my journey, people that met me with grace were the ones that had the biggest impact in my life, right? People that were willing to sit down with me and unpeel the layers that were me, that were Mitch. Like, that's
really easy to hate, dude. The first thought on that when you see someone struggling is to just hate on them. That's the easy thing.
Exactly.
And that's why those people had so much impact, is because they took the time to meet you where you're at.
Very true. Very true. And understand who I was, right? And I didn't even feel like going into rehab and all of that stuff that I had trauma, right? Like I didn't feel like I grew up in a great household. My parents provided for us. We had everything that we needed, but that creates its own issues. Um, and without having to go too far into that, like there was things that traumatized me throughout my life that I buried into my subconscious that created, this person that I had become and created this addiction. Like I used alcohol to escape a lot of my manic brain functions, and it's like I have ring of fire ADHD, which means that you just spiral into this crazy depression. Right. And that doesn't go away when you stop drinking. And so it's just, I don't know, man. Like my point in all of this is I didn't feel like I had trauma. Maybe some of those people don't, but I did, and I was responding to it. And
that could be relative.
totally
You could have had a
100%.
parent die or a dog die, or you just didn't fit in high school. It's the same psychosis.
And
I'm gonna use psychosis, but it's the same mental lapse that all of a sudden
exactly
alcohol helps.
It doesn't matter what. Trauma is something that gets you to a place of fuck it. Right? Like where you're like, fuck it, I don't want to live this part of I don't want to be this person anymore. I don't want to do that. Like that's trauma, right? Trauma is something that completely changes your path in life. And that could be whatever. Mine was losing somebody that I loved, a relationship in my life that I felt like was very important. And it tore me apart, man. It broke my heart. And that was my trauma mixed with some other things, through church and spirituality and not spirituality, but religion. There was some trauma there. And I come to find out that abandonment, I had severe abandonment issues. And to some people, that's like, I know guys that have been shot 9 times, right? Like that's fucking trauma, right? Like I know guys that have lost both of their parents in a car accident. Like that's fucking trauma. Getting broken up with by somebody that you're in love with. It sounds stupid, but you know what? It changed the course of my life. It made me it caused me to have the mindset to make decisions along those lines, right? I was making decisions based on my pain. That is the thing that people don't understand. I feel like in addiction.
Make decisions based on your pain.
That's what I was doing. I was making decisions based on how I felt, based on the pain that I felt. Right. And I didn't want to feel that pain. So what was I doing? I medicated it. That's when I started getting really introduced to alcohol.
That's what we should title this podcast. That's so good.
What?
You make decisions based on your pain. Sorry, it just hit me because I was so just hungover.
And it's pain,
so
right?
easy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fucking.
And
hurts.
It's momentary, right? Like, and that was the thing. Like, I was trying to escape this emotional pain of abandonment.
So many times I did brought something in and immediately it came back out, and it hurt and it sucked. But I know if I can just power through it, I'll feel better. So you did it like 6 times.
Yeah, and that's dude. And that's what's like. I never physically got to the point where like alcohol was causing me to do that. Like, I definitely had the shakes and shit like that when I quit. But I never had them overnight. You know what I mean? Maybe, yeah, well, I say that, but I probably just didn't realize it. So anyways, like I never got to that point, but the pain that I was experiencing was very emotional.
Did you ever drink in the morning?
Oh yeah.
It was hard. That's where it was for me. It was like, dude, 7 a.m. just trying to wake up and
see, mine wasn't to like get my body to function. Mine was to get my brain in a place where I didn't want to kill myself.
Different.
And so it was like, that was where I hated myself for so long, and there would be these ups and downs. Right. And I could probably tie them to the highs. I could tie to success, money, things like that, marriage, kids, the big events in life like that happen, getting engaged, all that kind of stuff. Like those were exciting things. We had a lot of great friends, but we drank all the fucking time. Right. And to be honest, like I would do these things, right? Like I would just tear apart relationships that I had. For one example, my best friend, we had this Italy night. We went to Italy for their wedding in 2017, 2018. And, was fucking chaos there. And get home, and a year later, we're doing a party at my parents' place, and we're cooking Italian pizza and doing this whole pizza night. And I'm the one cooking the pizzas and cleaning up. Well, in my drunk brain, I'm doing all the work, right? And everybody else is just having fun. And so I get fucking pissed that I start teeing off and yelling and and causing this whole scene and whatnot, and lose friends because of it. You know what I mean? And like, it's just that, dude. Like, my perception was so fucked up. And then that I would do those things, right? I would act out. I would be crazy. I would, tell my friends I hated them and, do all these crazy things, threaten to kill myself right in front of 30 people and, all just psycho shit. And I kind of forgot where I was going with that.
Well, I'm tying it back to what you were talking about with these videos and these comments, because that's not you. That's the alcohol. It's
right.
Not,
I was talking about like my emotional instability.
Well, yeah, but like that's kind of the thing that your takeaway that we started this off with is those comments of those people, they don't get it.
Right.
And you can't really blame them for it, though. When we're asking for grace for that person, we also have to give that commenter grace.
Well,
because they see that just doesn't click with them. They've never been there.
Right.
So how can we judge them on their reaction?
I can't.
But at the same time, that's why we're doing this, is like we all have to understand that, dude, that is not,
and that's why
even where we want to be. Right. As you didn't want to be Rage Mitch right then.
Right.
And that person doesn't want to be.
Literally what they called me in Italy was Rage Mitch.
Yeah.
That's what, like, they wanted me to start a YouTube channel. Like, it was bad, dude. Like, that was my reputation, and so, but where does all that come? And that's the point I'm trying to make in all of this, right? Is there's a path. There was a path that led up to the end, right? And the gal that I saw in the video that I commented on and angrily scolded people, for being ignorant, I can promise you that she doesn't want to be there. Like, I know, like, but there's a path that she went on, right, that caused her to end up in that situation. And you know what? If you gave her the option to get clean and shoot up again, she's going to shoot up again because it's fucking easy and she's not in her right state of mind. Right. So it's like, of course, you put any human being in that situation and they're going to make the wrong choice. It's not up to them at that point. I feel like for them, like, they need severe help, right? Like, they need somebody to grab them and be like, no, we're going to go this direction, And yes, at some point there's personal accountability and, but at the beginning, I just want you people to understand that, like,
what do you mean, you people?
Not you people. I want people. You people? I want people to understand. I want society to understand that, like, it looks like she might be too far gone, but she's not.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's the thing. It's like, how do we change that stigma, right? Where it's like, give her another shot. That's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, if you're going to do that, then why can't we euthanize the old people? I mean, it's the same fucking thing, but that's illegal, right? You can't do that, but you can just go give dope shots to people that are dope sick, like, and struggling with alcohol. That makes no sense to me.
Right.
And you're also talking about a group of people. This is another takeaway I have from all of this. You're talking about a group of people that, in my opinion, sobriety is a fucking superpower, in my opinion. And there are the people that just walk the gray line all the time will never get where we're at because it's black and white, right? This life it's either highs or lows, right? Those are our personalities, right? So if we can tip the scales to where we're constantly living in the highs, can you imagine how effective those people are actually going to become? Because they know what hell looks like, and so those are my two biggest takeaways, in all of this is like, sobriety is a superpower, and there really truly is a lot of ignorance around the heavily addicted.
Yeah, because there's such a small percentage of us that allow ourselves to get that far. Some people can just say, whoa, shit, I had 3 margaritas last night. Way too much. Yeah. My wife, there's only one thing that really pisses me off about her drinking. It drives me fucking nuts, dude.
She doesn't finish the drink.
She doesn't finish the drink. Like, I'm not mad because I want her to get drunk. It's like if we went to a restaurant, I was like, that was $9. Finish that shit. You know?
Dude, that is fucking hilarious because my wife's the same way.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, that's super annoying to me.
Yeah. Thank God she never does it, you know? But it's like, it's that people just don't allow themselves to get there. And that's why they don't get it.
Which is good. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's awesome. If we could all be that way, we'd all be that way.
right. Like, obviously, there's some level of like personal accountability that like has permeated our culture, you know, to the point where like it is a small percentage of people that go that far.
Well, I feel that because like I'll use Naya, for example. I don't know if this is fact or not, but and whatever. I'm not saying anything that I wouldn't tell her, but I don't think she loved that chaos or something along those lines. Alcohol created this like madness and chaos life, whether it was before me or with me. And
no
like,
woman in their right mind is gonna want that.
Yeah. And so like when she has that, it opens up that door to that. So it's like, oh no, I'm done. I'm good. And I know that's because that's in a sense how I feel. If I know I have a beer, it might not be tomorrow, it might not be whatever, but it'll slowly creep into.
Dude, I gotta tell you,
all over.
This shit's crazy. So I'm not gonna name the person because they're very close to me, and I don't think that he realized how damaging what he said was or could have been. But like things were going down with my wife and I, and he was like, "Dude, let's just go have one beer."
Oh,
and I was like, "What?" I was like, "No, dude." Like, you know, and I'm like, and he's like, "Dude, it was the first time in 2 years this has happened, almost 2 years." And I love this guy, right? Like, and it was just like, he was like, "Dude, I'll be there. I'll pay. Like, it's only one." And I'm like, "Bro, you don't understand. Like, once I leave you, it's game over."
Right.
Like, once we're not together, it's game over, dude.
Dude, that's the enemy creeping into your friend to get to you.
And it was just like, and I don't think that he realized,
no,
you know, because it's not something that he struggled. And I think he was really coming at me from a place of love.
Oh yeah.
Of like, "Hey dude, I want to be there for you. Like, let's go de-stress a little bit."
But see, that's golden. Like, yeah, the delivery and the method was not good, but that's a good, solid person of like, bro, let me help you. Let's go.
And I love this. Right. I love this guy. Like, he's very close to me, always will be, always has been, you know, but it was just like, and he kind of pushed it a little bit, you know, and it was like, I was like, "Dude, we got to stop talking about this. You know, like, I can't do it, man. Like, I'll go have a coffee." And it was that first time where it was just like, I realized that everything that was going on, once that conversation happened, I realized everything that was going on in my life at that current time was all planned by Satan.
Yeah.
And it was just this huge slap in the face of like, I mean, dude, nobody has that blatantly offered me alcohol in almost 2 years.
What's that thing? And I'm trying to remember in one of them, you know, Jesus is like, someone just comes up something so innocent, and then he screams at, I think it's her, "Get out of here, Satan! You are not welcome here."
Yeah, it's like a demon, like she's possessed by a demon or something.
Yeah, something so innocent, and then all of a sudden Jesus just snaps. You know,
and like rebukes it, dude. And that, honestly, it was the craziest thing. Like, yeah. And I look at that, and it's like, I'm so grateful that I have the strength to, you know, just and honestly, dude, I don't even really, to be honest, like, I don't think I do have the strength. What I do have is accountability to all of this, right? We built something that means something to us, and I feel like it means something to the community. You know, hopefully it'll start to mean a little bit more. But
just wait until you get there, so then it like turns into like, now it's for you. Like, you'll get there. I know exactly what you're talking about, because for me it was like, it was all for Nate and Connor.
Yeah.
And for you, it might be this. But just wait until all of a sudden it switches and it feels like, oh, and then it's all on you, you know?
Yeah. And I think it's funny, dude. Like, I've been listening to other people's stories too. And I've noticed too that like, I'm still very young in all of this. Like, my brain is probably still changing, you know, because of all the abuse and stuff. And it's just weird, dude. Like, and then having somebody like you that's 8 years farther than me, and there's another guy that I follow, Trip, you know, and ain't dead yet. I follow his story and his path, and dude, I mean, years. That guy's been doing this for years, you know? And so it just kind of made me realize too, like, this kind of stuff takes time, you know? And we all want this like immediate satisfaction, right? The instant gratification of like, I'm going to do this and we want to go see results right away, right? Like, and it's tough. Like, at least I'm that kind of person.
Yeah.
And so it's just realizing too that like this is a grind, bro. Like the podcast, the sobriety, all of it, you know, it's such a slow grind.
Don't worry, dude. That peach fuzz will grow in. You'll get their little shaver.
I could use like the top blade.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll graduate to 3 blades.
Fuck you, man.
No,
What's
no,
like,
the immediate results are though you stop drinking. Boom, huge positive.
Yeah.
The rest of this stuff is just unpacking or reorganizing your garage.
and that's dude, totally. And I like the word unpacking, right? Because it's unpacking your past. It's and then once you do unpack that and you do that work back there, you can fucking leave it there. You know what I mean? And it's like you don't have to focus on it anymore all the time.
And that's a perfect transition into mine was giving yourself the grace. And that took 7 years.
Yeah, dude, you struggled with that big time.
Because I just couldn't let go of all the dumb shit.
Yeah.
You know, all the people I hurt and all the bad things and all the alcohol I stole. Man, if I totaled it up, dude, I'm probably in the tens of 20s of thousands of dollars of alcohol.
Really?
I just shot up, probably more than that.
Dude, it's
If you think a bottle of Rumplemans is probably what, like $40, $50?
Is it really? Dude, you can get
Yeah.
a damn good bottle of whiskey for $40.
Okay. Well, restaurant world, like how much money could you get per shot at Rumplemans? Like $5-6 a pop
Probably.
for a whole bottle?
Probably now today, yeah. That would be my guess.
Yeah, that's what I mean by like how much money.
Because you're thinking
income is.
restaurant. You're thinking
The margins.
like marked up
Yeah.
restaurant shots. Yeah.
Because a bottle was probably like $25 to buy from the distributor.
That's what I was going to say, dude. A bottle of Ruppelmans can't be more than $20.
Yeah.
You know, and then they're probably getting it at cost.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Probably $20-25 from the distributor.
Yeah.
And you'd sell it for probably make $200.
So you, in a sense, I wouldn't calculate it necessarily from the shot standard because that's a markup. But you're
Lost income.
True. That is true.
Yeah, but whatever. Doesn't matter.
I like how we just get into those weird semantics.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's easy to,
Oh.
you know, because it's looking at the, you know, how much did you really cost them?
Dude, let me ask you this. How has the podcast impacted your life?
Because it's helped you. That's the biggest impact I've had because I've seen the growth and the help from you. And then the few people I've collected along the way that I'm helping at the same time.
Yeah.
And the grace piece, I thought of it when you were talking about it because there's been some people that I've talked to recently and that I've been referred to. You know, I don't know. Loved ones say, hey, you should reach out to this person. Like they lie to me. They're still drinking.
Yeah.
And their spouse knows. And it's not everybody, but like it's hard to have that grace
For
and that
them.
forgiveness. Because it's like, dude, how's things?
Yeah.
Oh, it was fucking awesome, dude. I haven't drank and whatever. I'm like, lie. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
But it's cool. You know, I don't call them out. And if you're listening, just be honest with yourself.
And that's the biggest, that's the
It's
biggest
so
thing.
like, and so that's the thing that is challenging, but I did the same shit.
Yeah.
You know?
I know, and it's hard, dude, because it's like you look at, and this goes back into what I was talking about, you know, with these videos and stuff, is it can't be like you can't force that person to do anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard, right? Because I have a guy, same situation. Like I know his wife reaches out to me, and I know that he's still struggling.
Same.
You know, but I also you just try to gently encourage, you know, small change,
Yeah.
right? Small incremental positive change.
And dude, so like the pattern, the stuff that I'm doing, you like something that I sent you this morning.
Yes, that was great.
You know, so it's those little things that I send to him and the people I've collected, you know, I just kind of copy paste the same text. It's just like little hints of like, dude, it's just something that resonates with me. I'm like, oh, this would be fucking awesome for Mitch, dude. If you miss a day, it's all good. Just keep going. Just get back to the gym.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. And that is, dude, and that's the grace piece, right? Like, so I think I've said this one other time in the podcast, but I can't remember where I heard this, but so Jerry Seinfeld is a perfect example of this. He will write 100 jokes every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he feel like has made him very successful. It's his lead measure.
Yep.
Right. And so he has a calendar, a joke calendar, and he will write 100 jokes every day. And his motto is never miss 2 days in a row. So he can miss days, right? Yep. There's the grace piece where it's like, I can miss a day, but then it's like, it's created such a habit in him that it's like working out, right? Like a lot of guys that work out and have done it for years, or gals that like, they can't even function in their day without doing it. Mm-hmm. Right. And now he's created that kind of habit. But there was, yes, that high level of like, this 100 jokes, like that's a lot of work, right? Every day. That's crazy. So, but there's also the grace piece inside of it. You know,
dude, that's everything.
Everything.
Dude, you look at people that have crazy wealth. They were all broke at one point.
What did I see, dude? Dennis Schick posted the most badass quote the other day. It was something along the lines. Let me see if I can find it. It was so good, dude.
Yeah. But I used to look back at like 100 milers and like, that is fucking insane.
Yeah, dude.
How do people even do that? And it's easy. Like, I know that sounds stupid, but it all just starts with just tying your shoes and running around the block a mile.
Dude,
or these people, dude, making conscious decision, eat fucking ramen for a month and a half, do nothing, shut it down completely for 30 days of money and save up for this. And then it turns into this. And then all of a sudden you own 3/4 of Windsor. So
from a general standpoint, again, talking masses, not individuals, why can't we do that?
Because you see the finish line and it seems so unattainable. There's no point in even trying.
Do you think it's that?
I do. Because you see it and it's like, I'm never going to get there. So what's the point of trying? And I'm talking general people.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way I'll be able to do that. They are so up here. And it's not, because they're all human beings that all bleed the same. It just seems so far away that you don't even think it's worth starting.
I honestly think it's probably a mixture of that mixed with, we are a society that just wants to feel good. You know what I mean? Like, it's social media preaches to it.
How good does it feel to finish that race
but that's
or
the thing,
bench 220 or whatever?
The people that aren't doing it, and I'm a perfect example of this, they have never experienced that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the only thing that they've experienced in their life is comfort.
Yeah. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Right. You know, and so it's like, because I'm going through this right now, dude, where it's like, I want to get into the gym, but it hurts. Like, physically fucking hurts super bad. You know, I walked down the street with my kids yesterday and my fucking feet hurt so bad by the time I got back. You know, granted, I broke my foot last year, but like, all of it's excuses, right? And it's all in this. And for me, it's this effort of like, I don't want to feel pain, dude. And now I'm looking back at like my life for the last 20 years, bro. I have literally avoided emotional pain, physical pain, any kind of like pain for 20 fucking years. No wonder it's so goddamn hard for me to get my ass out of bed in the morning.
Yeah. You're feeling pain right now by talking about it.
Exactly. You know, and it's like, you almost get used to it, you know? And so now I'm in this place of like,
and you get used to the same pain, dude.
Well, exactly. But that's my point, right? Is now I'm in this place of like, I have to shift my mindset to believe and to understand that all of those things are good for me, right? They're not pain. They're not bad. They're not, but that's what I've told myself for 20 fucking years, right? It's like, I'm not gonna do that shit. Like, fuck that, you know, that's hard, right? So what am I telling myself in my brain? What am I writing in my subconscious? That working out sucks, that all of that. So in order to get up and have the desire to wake up at 4:00 in the morning and go hit the gym, I have to change my mindset completely. I have to reframe what all of that looks like in my brain.
This will help you. God said, we as men need to train our minds and train our body to be better for him. In Acts chapter 14 or 15, Paul went to, I can't remember where, and him and Barnabas, they go in, they preach, they get their ass kicked, they get stoned. He probably dies. No one really knows. And then he comes back bloodied and goes back to preach. Okay. Now he was doing it for God. He's obviously called, on the way to Damascus, the whole thing. Right. This is his mission. He's doing this. Now, the Sunday, Pastor Allen was talking about you need to suffer for God. No, you don't need to, but I took it as that.
I get.
Okay, so my point is, I'm not talking about standing out at Pride and yelling Jesus, right, and getting your ass kicked, right? That's not what I'm talking about. Although,
if you want,
there's an argument that's a positive thing, but whatever. We're not going to get into that. Pain and suffering gets you closer to God, 100%. That's why, because as you feeling the pain, God goes with you. Ask God to be with you in the difficult times, and he will lift you up. God, Jesus, everybody, they will lift you up to these spots to make you a better person. You suffer to become better. Muscles get bigger because they get torn apart and they get bigger. So if you're suffering regularly, that's going to bring you closer to God, closer to a better person.
Dude, it's funny you say this because I agree with you. And I asked you why, because there's a principle in this, right? Look at anything in life. Not anything, but there's a lot of things in life. Dude, your muscles are a great example of this, right? Every time you work out, you tear your muscle fibers.
Mm-hmm.
You rip them apart, right? So you're destroying your muscles so that they can grow back stronger.
Mm-hmm.
What else does that in God's creation? Fucking forests, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Fires. When they destroy a forest, it comes back more beautiful.
Right.
It's this principle of forged in fire, right? And that's where, if you want to level up in your life, then yes, you're right. Then you have to go through some kind of painful experience to learn the tools that you need, or you could go and learn them from other areas. You don't necessarily have to go experience pain and suffering. You could learn from other people, which is what we're trying to highlight here, right? You have to be open to that. You have to be willing to do that. I feel like up until this point in my life, I was not really that person. I was going to go do it the hard way. But you don't have to do that, and so it's everywhere in life, right? Like my wife and I, to learn the financial lessons that we need to learn to be highly successful, we had to be completely broke. Right? We have to go through the shit that we're going through. Now, again, not everyone has to go through that, right? You can learn from other people's experiences. But you're right, man. Like, I really, truly feel as leaders, as things like that, like, it's the number one way that I relate to people is through experience, right? Through the pain, through the trauma, through the struggle, the grind, whatever you want to call it. But I agree with you, man. Totally.
When I talked a lot about this, I always just use the analogy of, dude, it's going to hurt sitting on the couch eating chips every day.
Not in the moment. That's the thing, is not in the moment, right? And that's another thing that I feel like we're constantly losing, is that, like, where are we headed?
It hurts to get up off the couch if you're 300 pounds, dude.
Well, yeah,
but I'm not going to have joints that hurt because you don't do anything.
Right.
That's my point.
Yeah. No, and you're right.
But in the moment, yeah, it's so much easier to sit down and just like chill and not do anything.
Right. And that's social media, dude. That's those dopamine hits. That's like boom, boom, boom. Like we live in this world of instant gratification.
But here's my point, dude. It's okay to do that, to sit down and watch a show for an hour or watch.
Yeah.
But get up and do it. Any man worth his weight in salt is up before 7 a.m. and they've gotten it done. Period.
That makes me a loser.
No, it doesn't.
I'm just kidding.
No, it doesn't, dude. You're just not there yet. We're having this conversation. You're not avoiding it. But my point is, dude, it's cool to do that, but at least just earn it.
Yeah. Well,
whatever it is, it doesn't have to be physical stuff. Get up and get mental. Read, learn, like do something with your kids. there's no lazy kids, there's lazy parents. Just gonna throw that in there. You do something to earn that time. And work doesn't count. Oh, a long day. Yeah, you got to earn money. So what? That doesn't count.
See, and that's the thing. It's like I like that perspective, dude, because it's a player perspective. It's not a victim perspective, right? Like things are not happening to you. You are happening to the world. And that's a really hard place, I think, for a lot of people to get to.
I wasn't there when I was drinking. I wasn't there for a long time.
And so that's like how, and I think that's the biggest thing, like that we're trying to help people, right? Is how do you get from that place where you're like mentally just like, I fucking hate myself, to the place of like, oh my God, I love myself. Right. And I think that it comes through small victories, right? Doing difficult things in your life.
Yeah.
Right. And then basking in that feeling of like pride almost of like, hey, I did this really hard thing.
You look up at a mountain, it's like, that is fucking crazy.
Right.
But you just acclimate. Like they tell how long does it take to climb Everest? Like 2 weeks, because you have to go up and then you come back down.
Probably longer than that.
And then you go up and then you come back down.
I think it takes a month.
Sure. So that's whatever analogy you want to use. Dude.
Yeah. Well, and that's the same. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, how do we help people get to that point? Right. Like, I think we're doing some pretty cool and exciting things in our clean and sober group to try to help people with that, trying to figure that out. So, and again, dude, like I'm bringing all of this stuff out to the public because I need it, right? Like I need to be vulnerable about the things that I struggle with because it's how I get growth. So earlier we were talking, I said Dennis Schick had this amazing quote on his Facebook page. So it says, everyone wants to win. Oh my God, it's so good. Until they realize how many losses it takes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Because so many times in my life, dude, I'm like, how many losses do I have to experience before I'm going to? And dude, it's been years of losses.
I'd say a lot of people bat 300, 200.
Easy, dude. And that's probably
Hall of Fame shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's probably on the level of like, I would say average is probably like sub 200.
But you can't let that bother you. The losses.
Right.
See, I think that's the thing.
No, you have to fucking learn from them.
I know. And that's the thing. I think that it's hard for people is because I hate, I such a meathead, dude. I just go back to working out, but whatever.
That's fine.
You're motivated and you lift fucking crazy and you try to squat as much as you used to, and then you're sore for 3 days. And all of a sudden that's 3 days lost, and then you're back to square one.
Yeah.
You have to take it slow and bit by bit.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have losses, but if you miss a day, that's cool. Just don't miss 2, or make a promise to yourself.
Right.
I'm never gonna do this. But if you are using exercise as a thing, this is my best advice to get going. Never, ever, ever miss a Monday. Ever.
That's really good. I
do not give a shit what it is. It could show up and just roll on the roller and stretch if that's your Monday, because it sets the tone for the week.
For the whole week.
Fuck, I missed Monday. Well, it's
Might as well
Tuesday.
miss
Well,
the
shit,
rest
I
of
haven't
it.
been all week. Well, it's the weekend.
Guilty.
And 4 months later, you're sitting there on the fucking couch eating chips, watching football, thinking that you're doing good.
Or you're thinking, God, if I would have just worked out that Monday and kept it going, where would I be 4 months later?
Yep. Well, yeah. I think to kind of wrap it up a bit, we got off on a tangent of just being, accountable to yourself and just trying to do the right thing. But I think the biggest thing, dude, is grace.
Yeah.
Because that's where you can rebound a little bit better. Like I had this hole where I couldn't even just forgive myself. I just kept replaying the stories and all the shit and just the lies and all the stuff, right? I couldn't let it go. And then when I was just sitting here a second ago to better answer your question about like the last year, how the podcast has helped or whatever. One, it was helping you through this. That was the biggest thing. But then also it led me closer to God. And it all happened all around the same time between you and Ryan and that first healing thing I went to at Lady of the Valley, and just sitting there in that image of Jesus. And it was like pain and all that. And then it didn't happen all at once. Like I had this like the hole in your soul or hole in your heart. Nothing was filling it, you know? And so then as my faith grew, I was sitting there like, man, how all these people seem so happy. Or you look at all these things or all this community and all this stuff, and you're like, man, that cup is full. And it's just really like kind of realizing it now, like that hole has been filled for so long, and it's awesome. And at first I thought that was like the mountain to climb, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not about me, but it's just trying to give hope to people that are like, look, it just seems so far away.
Well, dude,
That-
you have an amazing story, bro. Like, and I think the more you share it, the more it helps people, right? Like, because when we started this, so it was a year ago this past May that we started, that you and I linked up and we made the commitment, like, we're going to do this, right? We released episodes this past January. And I don't think when we sat down to record our first episode that you were a believer.
Dude, was it really May?
Yeah. Well, that's when I had the dream.
Okay.
So it could have been more like June, but that's when I was on this trajectory. Like this, I had that dream. I was like, I'm doing this. No questions. So it was somewhere between that May and August that you were just like gave yourself over to it,
Mhm.
you know, and that's actually something I didn't think about. And that's probably the most important thing that's happened in the last year, you know, is that, I mean, dude, seriously, like you're talking eternity
Yeah.
that you just gave your family, you know what I mean? And so that is huge. And I think that you do need to talk a lot about that because, dude, when I met you, it was like, no, man. And you were steadfast in that. And it changed very quickly, but it was really cool to watch, man.
That's amazing to once you understand the grace and what Jesus did for us.
Yep.
Or okay, even the grace that God gives his people. If you look at the Old Testament, I'm way into the Old Testament now. I'm almost through it. That you just start from Genesis.
Yeah.
I mean, Genesis was a little hardcore, like, here comes a flood, y'all are gone. Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You know, that was a little aggressive. But once you get into Exodus and you see how God saved the Israelites and brought them through this journey, but it wasn't like, dope, here's your happy meal.
Right.
They had to suffer for almost generations getting through the woods. And then we're there. And then we get to Mount Sinai. And it's like, Moses goes away and y'all are freaking that stupid calf. You know, it's just crazy because here's the thing that is cool about grace. When he said something about the grace and the generosity for thousands of generations and the punishment for 2 or 3.
Yeah.
It's not that if I all of a sudden screw up that Connor's grandson is going to be cursed. That's not it, or at least my takeaway from it. It's his grace and love for you as a person that Jesus had to come back and remind everybody for, and they didn't realize it and they killed him, is forever. But your punishment you're going to see is short term.
Yes.
So if you have kids, you'll get it. You know exactly what I'm saying. Connor screws up. He sneaks electronics. You're punished for a while. We don't know when, but of course we're going to love you forever, dude. You're my kiddo. That's why I'm doing this.
Well, and look at what God the tone that he sets in Exodus. I mean, there's a healthy fear of God in that, right? Like, think about the fact, like, they did screw up. They put idols before God. They didn't have faith through the desert. That's why they wandered for so long. What if God would have just been like, you know what? It's okay. You guys can all go into the promised land. What does that teach us?
Exactly.
You know, and that's the thing that I'm trying to get through to especially to my son, right? Boys are different. It's like, no, dude, like, and I'm telling my wife this, I'm like, yes, all of these little instances are important because if he knows that he can get me to cave in, it's game over. All of a sudden he has no respect for me. And it does work that way. And it is that quick. And so I was like, yes, it does matter. When I tell him to do something and he doesn't do it, there's a punishment for it.
Right.
And it needs to be the same with you, especially with you, because if he doesn't have any respect for you as his mom, he's not going to respect other women.
Yep.
You know, and so it's all those principles, right? And that's the kind of shit. That's where life is. That's where life happens.
But the grace for yourself is you're always gonna be
a fuck up.
It's gonna ebb and flow. I wouldn't say you're always gonna be a fuck up, but you need to be trying to be perfect, but you're never gonna be perfect.
That's why, dude, my daughter told me this. She's like, Dad, it's not practice makes perfect. It's practice makes permanent.
100%.
You know, and I love that. It's just one shift in a word, but it's everything in your brain.
You practiced avoiding pain, and now you're on a verge where it could be permanent.
Dude,
if you
think
don't do anything about it.
This is what the last thing I'm going to say to the listener. I used to teach snowboarding. The number one thing I would always tell people is I was like, if you want to go that direction, look that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Look at where you want to go. Right? It's the same thing in our life. If you're constantly looking at all the things you're fucking up, it's you're going to bring to the surface. If you're looking at, okay, I'm going to have grace for myself in this situation. This is the path that I'm going. Yes, I've broken all this shit, but I'm choosing not to focus on that. I'm going to focus on where I'm going and the good that's going to come out of it. That's what's going to show up in your life. What you focus on becomes your reality. Try it out. It's freaking crazy, dude. Give it a month. Start doing affirmations every day. I do them every day. Right now, mine is focus on the positive and good things will happen. Because I tend to go down this spiral, dude. That's my ADHD, right? It's ring of fire. Everything's burning.
When you said you wanted to do this race, right?
I want to. I'm terrified. I literally walked down the street last night and my foot hurt so bad. Like, in my brain, this is a perfect example of looking at the mountain being like, there's no fucking way I can climb that. It's a perfect example. I'm already terrified.
You got 9 months. But there's a thing in ultra running that you never give the pain a voice.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be there.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to fucking hurt. And it really does hurt. But you can't give the pain a voice. And you have to realize that the pain is only going to get to a certain point.
Do you think maybe I should start with like some of the a little smaller?
Yeah, do the Red Windsor Race Series, dude. There's a 5K turkey trot coming up, and then you do the 10K Santa Catch, and then you do.
How long's a 5K?
3.2 miles.
I could fucking do that.
Fucking A, you can. You could run a 5K right now and be fine.
I could do that 100%. It'd be hard, but I would be in a lot of pain at the end of it, but I could do it.
Yeah, you just gradually build up that way.
All right, fuck it, I'll do it.
But like the point is that the pain is going to get to a certain spot. Like if you break your foot in the race or something like that,
it's going to have a threshold.
Yeah, it's only going to get to 10, and that's it.
And then if you can get past that threshold, you're good.
Oh, yeah, but I kind of skipped ahead, I think. You just never give that pain a voice, though.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden you focus on the pain and, oh, my God, and then all of a sudden you quit.
You quit, yeah.
And you give yourself a reason to not do it.
So in that instance, what would you be focusing on? So what's going on in your mindset when you're in mile 71? Where's your brain? What are you telling yourself?
I bet Laura Bunch wanted to quit cancer, so I'm at least not going to quit this.
That's awesome.
Because I did it for her and Kenny and the family.
Yeah. I'm just trying to give people something tangible that they can take away from this episode and be like, oh, I want to apply that.
It's going to be hard no matter what. And you need to figure out what's harder. Being on alcohol and sitting through that pain and being hungover and all the shit it's doing to you? Or do you want to have the short-term pain of just stopping and have that forest of friends and people that think that are in there with it for you? That's going to burn. You're going to lose those friends.
Yeah.
But what's going to come out of that is people that are meeting you where you're at, and they're going to be so much closer to you to help you. And now you're going to walk through the proverbial, new growth and new flowers and all that stuff that are so much more beautiful than the trees that burned up.
Yeah.
The forest that you're stuck in right now.
It is a fun place to be. Like those first 6 months, 6 to 12 months of sobriety are pretty awesome, because it's all like flowers and rainbows and shit. And I think I'm realizing too now, like I'm kind of lonely. I have a feeling that people don't invite us places. I don't know for sure.
Oh yeah.
But I have a feeling that we don't get invited to things because I don't drink.
So what?
you know, but at the same time, like, yeah, it is like, this
What are
is
you gonna
so,
do? Go over there and get drunk and look like a freaking
well,
moron?
and I also have faith in God's plan for my life, and that's the thing. Like, I'm in a season right now. Like, there's a lesson that God is trying to teach me that I just haven't learned yet.
Be comfortable with yourself, dude.
Well, and
Be comfortable in the thing that you've created of self-healing and all that.
Yeah. And maybe it's like a calling to go a little bit farther, into myself. And I'm actually starting psychiatry soon, which I'm really excited about.
You know what it does, dude? Gives you more time to get in the gym, get them gains, bro.
For what?
People not inviting you places. You got time to go to the gym now.
I know, especially because I just fucking put one in my.
Again, dude, I'm a meathead. I'm just
Well,
fucking
it's
with you.
good, dude. Like, I want to be at the top of the mountain when it comes to that stuff, and I think I struggle with that. Like, I haven't accepted the fact that it's going to be a lot of work and pain. If I have, then I'd be out doing it. And that's the thing. It's like, it's a mindset shift, dude. Like,
but you don't have to do the 100-mile race.
I know.
You can just sign up for the 12-hour. And this is an analogy. I'm not saying what knowledge or metal, but you don't have to do that. But you have to do something.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to change if nothing changes.
Well, and that's what it's like. And so I've been trying to do this thing in my day where it's like, I really don't want to do that. And then I'm like, okay, because you said that, now you have to go do it.
Yeah.
And so it's just shifting that mindset, right? Into like, I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to do it. And just constantly doing that, kind of cold showers.
Dude, that's so good. Like, I haven't run a ton. And on Sunday I was like, fuck, man, this is hard. I used to do 4 miles. Like, 4 miles was like, I don't have any time. I just have to do at least 4 miles real quick. And this was like, fuck, this is brutal. I was like, I'm going to go at least 4. Like, there's so many turnarounds on my run. I have a 1 mile turnaround to 2,
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
And it's like, no, I can at least do this. And you feel great. I mean,
you hurt, but in your mind, you feel good about yourself. It builds you up in your soul.
That's the pain. And this is what I'm saying to you, dude. If you're getting into the gym, dude, the pain of that sucks in the moment.
Yeah.
But if you rack it, you're lifting it.
See, and that's what I'm talking about, dude, is the moment, right? It's the momentary shit that we are getting used to being comfortable as a society, right? We're getting used to being served instead of serving, right? We're all of that kind of stuff.
That's where groups help, like AA and rehab and all these things.
Totally.
You don't do it by yourself.
Totally.
You don't show up and have a conversation with the wall.
Yep. Clean and Sober Connections. That is our connection group on Facebook. Get involved. You want a community of awesome fucking people. We have a community of awesome people that will pour every resource they have into you. So we could go on a tangent forever. We're at 1 hour and 12 minutes. So, but that, we just wanted to give you guys something to maybe walk away with. We're coming up. January will be a year that we've been doing this, and dude, what a journey, man. It's been so fun. It's been awesome to see even the few people that have come out and made these small changes in their life. It's been incredible to watch that. So we're not going anywhere. We're going to continue to do this and hope that this little fire ignites throughout our community. And you guys can always reach out to us again, through social media. My phone number is not hard to find online. Just Google my name. But anyways, we love you guys, and we really appreciate you tuning in and listening to our rambling thoughts. So thanks, Aaron, for teeing us up today and being here and all your insight, man. I'm just really glad to be on this journey with you.
Yeah, same, dude.
Yep. So, all right, guys, till next time, take care, stay sober.
Yep. Don't go out there and get AIDS.